what I thought. I better give you.
We'll start the meeting in about 1 minute. Good evening and welcome to the October 7th, 2025 Brookings County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. This is being recorded, televised, and viewable on Swiftel Channel 19, ITC Channel 168, or the Brookings County YouTube channel. And I'll call this meeting to order. Approval of minutes. Is there a motion?
So move, Paulson.
Motion by Paulson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Troyan. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Items to be added to the agenda by commission members or staff.
I don't have anything, sir.
Invitation for citizens to schedule a time on the commission agenda for an item not listed. Seeing nothing. Disclosure of conflicts of interest, relationships to the applicant or ex parte communication. Seeing none. Approval of agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Kyle Vanderwall. Is there a second? Second by Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We will now convene as the Brookings County Planning and Zoning Commission. I get that right? Yep. The Brookings County Planning Commission is a 9-member commission whose function is to recommend approval or disapproval of land use plans, zoning ordinances, subdivision plats, and amendments thereof to the Brookings County Commission. The commission makes its recommendation based on the adopted comprehensive plan for the physical development of the unincorporated areas of Brookings County. As a matter of policy, all motions are made in a positive. After a motion has been moved and seconded, it is open for debate. Those supporting the motion shall in turn give their reasons. Those opposing the motion shall then offer their reasons. After everyone has been given a chance to be heard, the commission shall recommend approval or disapproval based on the testimony and information presented. A simple majority vote of a quorum of members present under the Planning and Zoning Board in attendance is required to forward a recommendation. Agenda item 2025, Plat 022, plat of Tract 1, even addition in the south 1/2 of the southeast 1/4 of Section 8, Township 110 North, Range 47W, the 5th primary in Brookings County, South Dakota. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Kleinjohn. Second?
Second,
Second by
Paulson.
Paulson. Richard, would you read staff report?
Yes, 2025 Plat 022. The Robert Even Living Trust is platting off a 3.84 acre existing building site from the 80 acres that they own. The building site consists of the shelter belt with mature trees and a house which was built in 1977. It does meet the platting requirements of the 2016 comprehensive plan on page 24 for the agricultural land use. Here's a proposed plat. There's the plat on the beacon map, showing the mature trees in the house. And there's the beacon map, just outlined with a marker, and that's all that I have, and the applicant is not here this evening.
Thank you, Richard. If the applicant isn't here, we'll move to the public hearing portion. Is anybody in the audience that is for this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience that is opposed to this? Seeing and hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing portion. And any additional comments or questions from members of the board? Seeing none, Richard, would you call the vote?
Paulson,
Aye.
Cody Clark,
Yes.
Darrell Kleinjohn,
Aye.
Kyle Vanderwall,
Aye.
Mark Joinby,
Aye.
Neil Troyan,
Yes.
Justin D. Groot,
Aye.
Kelly Vanderwall,
Aye. Aye.
and Chad Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Moving on, agenda item 2025, plat 023, plat of Martin Farms addition in the southwest 1/4 of section 26, township 111 north, range 50W of the 5th prime rating, Brookings County, South Dakota. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Troyan, second.
Second.
Second by Kelly Vanderwall. Richard, would you read the staff report?
Yes, 2025 plat 023, Raina Martin, Ann Martin, Ann Martin Overby and Ryan Overby are planning off a 5.21 acre existing building site from the 74.64 acres they own. The building site consists of the shelter belt, mature trees, house, a barn, and pole sheds. The building site was originally platted as originally described with a footage description, is now being platted for a property line adjustment. And the plat does meet the plating requirements of the 2016 comprehensive plan for the unincorporated areas for the agricultural land use. This is the plat. Property line adjustment is right here, as you'll see on the beacon map. The blue line is the footage description. You can see it did go straight. The red line is the plat. It did come up and make a little jog, go around the trees. And there's the beacon map with the area right here. That's the prior one is the plat of the farm ground. This is the building site right here. It was a straight line. So that's all that I have, and the applicant is not here this evening. So.
Thank you. If the applicant isn't here, we'll move to the public hearing portion. Is there anybody in the audience that is for this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience that is opposed to this? Seeing and hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing portion. Is there any additional comments or questions from members of the board? Seeing and hearing none, Richard, would you call the vote?
Yes, Clark,
Aye.
Darrell Kleinjohn,
Aye.
Kyle Vanderwall,
Aye.
Mark Joinby,
Aye.
Neil Troyan,
Yes.
Justin D. Groot,
Aye.
Kelly Vanderwall,
Aye.
Tim Paulson,
Aye.
and Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Moving on, public hearing, proposed changes to the Brookings County zoning ordinance number 2024-01, Article 4, Chapter 4.07, Section 4.07.05.02, Planning Zone Pipeline, Planning Zone Liquid Pipelines. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Kyle Vanderwall, is there a second?
Second. Paulson.
Second by Paulson. Richard, would you read the staff report?
Yes, I'll read this and I'll let Mr. Hill add more to it if there's anything else he would like to add. This is an update as a recommendation from the Brookings County CO2 Pipeline Advisory Committee to update the current zoning ordinance in Article 4, District Requirements, Chapter 4.07, Transmission Pipeline Risk Reduction Overlay District, Section 4.07.05.02, Planning Zone. Liquid pipelines by removing existing language in number 3 and replacing it and adding setbacks in the planning zone for liquid pipelines. Updating zoning ordinance to Article 4 requirements, Chapter 4.07 Transmission Pipeline Risk Reduction Overlay District, Section 4.07.05.02 Planning Zone. Liquid pipelines is hereby amended by removing the strikeout and adding an underline and italic font. So this, under number 3, which is currently there, would be removed. And this would be replaced as a starting point for the HLP placement of Brookings County. The following setbacks, which are in place for confined animal feeding operation, CAFOs, are in place for placement of HLP pipelines. And this would be the chart that would be used for established residents, 2,640 feet, adjoining property lines, 330 feet, churches, businesses, commercially zoned areas, 2,600 40 feet. Incorporated municipalities, 5,280 feet. Established private well, 250 feet. Existing public water well, 1,000 feet. Lake streams classified as fisheries as identified by the state, 150 feet. Bob, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman and Board, Zoning Board Commissioner Randy Jensen sat in on this as a representative of the Planning Commission, and unfortunately, he cannot be here tonight. He sent me a text saying he had something come up, and of course, it is harvest time, and we was afraid this was going to happen. But he sat in on the meetings, and we had two county commissioners sitting on the meeting. We had Jay Gilbertson. You know, we felt that the committee that worked on the pipeline update was, you had people we would consider not opponents, but people that was concerned with the CO2 pipeline, and then people that was for the CO2 pipeline, and then obviously commissioners. And so we felt we had a pretty good committee that was set up to look at all the facts and weigh the facts. And what we ended up doing was basically adopting the same setbacks that we have in our confined animal feeding operations plan. We did add 320 feet instead of 200 feet on the setbacks from the adjoining property lines, but that was a compromise that we made as part of the committee. And other than that, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to do the best I could to answer for Commissioner Jensen. But the board, or the subcommittee that the county commission had appointed, approved this change unanimously and sent it to this board for the public hearing. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That being said, there's no applicant here, so we'll move to the public hearing portion. Is there anybody in the audience that is for this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience that is opposed to this? Seeing and hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing portion. Is there any additional comments or questions from members of the board? Seeing and hearing none, Richard, would you call the vote?
Klein John.
Aye.
Kyle Vanderwall.
Aye.
Mark Joinby.
Aye.
Neil Troyan.
Yes.
Justin DeGroot.
Aye.
Kelly Vanderwall.
Aye.
Tim Paulson.
Aye.
Cody Clark.
Aye.
And Chad Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Moving on, we'll now convene as the Brookings County Board of Adjustment. The Board of Adjustment is a 9-member board which has the power to hear requests for variances, conditional uses, and appeals of non-ministerial decisions of the zoning officer. The concurring vote of 2/3 of the full board membership of the board, 6 votes, is necessary for approval of a variance or an appeal of the zoning officer. The concurring vote of a simple majority of those board members present and voting is necessary for approval of a conditional use permit. In accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, we require a motion to approve a request before the request can be debated. As a matter of policy, all motions are made in the positive. The board, under specific powers granted to it by the state, shall authorize variances from zoning requirements where special conditions existing on the land will result in an unnecessary hardship for the applicant. Financial disadvantage to the property owner shall not constitute proof of an unnecessary hardship. Moving on, agenda item 2025, variance 002. Joel Williams has made an application 2025 variance 002, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment for variance, Article 4, District Requirements, Chapter 4.03, LP, Lake Park District, Section 4.03.03, Density, Area, and Yard Regulation, Minimum Side Yard. The property is described as parcels 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Lot 10 of the subdivision and replat of Lake Poncet Heights in Section 5, Township 112 North, Range 52W. Laketon Township, located at 152 South Lake Drive, Arlington, South Dakota, 57212. Is there a motion?
So move, Paulson.
Motion by Paulson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Kyle Vanderwall. Richard, would you read the staff report?
Yes, 2025 variance 002. Joel Williams has applied for a variance in the Lake Park zoning districts to build a new residence within with an attached 32-foot wide garage to be 0 feet from the west property line, a variance of 25 feet. The rest of the house with an attached covered porch should be 8 feet from the west property line, which is a variance of 17 feet. The required setback on a corner lot is 25 feet. The front yard setback on a corner lot is 25 feet. The west property line adjoins 7th Street, which is on the plat, it was for lake access. 7th Street has mature trees, bushes, and grass growing on it, and at the north end is a very steep grade or drop-off going to the lake that has trees and bushes growing on it, making it unusable for lake access as it was noted for on the plat. The applicant and the other adjoining landowner maintain and keep up the area where 7th Street is located. The rural water meter pit is located in the middle of 7th Street, and both lot owners use the south side of 7th Street to access their property. Also on there, and things are to consider are the shape and the size of the lot and how 7th Street was used, and Lake Ponset Heights subdivision was originally platted on June 30th, 1922. And also on there, his existing house is currently also 2 to 3 feet from the adjoining property line of 7th Street. So, and I'll show you that when we get to the pictures here. Public notices were published in the Brookings Register on September 23rd and 30th, 2025, and the Value Tribune and Arlington Sun on September 25th and October 2nd, 2025. Letters were sent to the adjoining landowners, the Brookings County Highway Department, and the Laketon Township Chairman and Clerk. Wow. There, it's the right one. Now we'll go to page 2. Here's the variance application. This is his site plan. This would be the garage on the south end of the lot there. This would be the covered porch, which would be 8 feet off of the property line. This is a floor plan. Just sketched out, showing the garage. This one is with the floor plan from the lumberyard, showing the garage on the south end. This is where the 0 setback would be. This is where the 8 foot to the edge of the house would be 12 foot. They're going to have a 4 foot covered porch coming around the west side, going around to the north. So that would be put the setback here at 8 feet for the side setback, which on the corner lot on this side of the lot would be 25 feet. So this would be the front right here. Only question is, after I got to looking at this, and you can answer this later on, but were you going to have the doors to your garage on the south side or the west side? On the west side. Okay, that would make a difference here. So this is the lot right here on the beacon map. This is the existing house. You can see the lot line is right close to it. It's about 2 to 3 feet from the property line. This is 7th Street right here. You can see they have a berm built there to keep the water from rushing down there and controlling erosion and things like that. And the water meter pit is right in this area right here that goes across there. This is looking from South Lake Drive, looking north towards the driveway. This is looking towards the east. Good clear view. My house is up on a knoll. This is looking towards the west. This would be 7th Street right in this area right here that they use for parking, that him and his neighbor keep up the area. This is just looking north from the south end of the lot. This is the property line right in this area, just on the other side of their step or deck right there. Also showing it also right here. This is the east property line on the east side of the lot. Kind of hard to see, but here's the electrical and sewer are on the east side of the lot right in this area. The sewer connection, I believe, is towards the back, if I remember right. Or there was a round plug in the ground anyway, white cap back there. This is just looking towards the north again. This is looking from the lakeside south towards the south property line. This is a property line right here off of their deck going down to the lake. This is looking off to the southeast here. And this would be the east side of the lot, looking back here from the south, looking towards the lake, just showing where that 8-foot setback is. And this is at the south end about where the end of the proposed garage would be, according to their site plan. Roughly, this is on the south end here. And this is just looking back towards the lake. This is where the rural water pit is, right over in this area. And this is just looking back from the dock up towards the elevation of the lake. This is 7th Street right in this area right here where all the trees and brush are. This is the steps going up to their property right here. And that's all that I have, and the applicant is here this evening.
Thank you, Richard. You want to come forth and sit down, make sure the green light's on, and clearly state your name into the mic?
It's on.
Good. Clear state your name.
One thing that since we've gone an extra 30 days in this process, we have redrawn the cabin, moving the garage back in line with the cabin. So the only thing that would be on the property line would be the porch. We haven't built anything, we haven't ordered anything, we're just trying to make all this work out. So if you go back to the drawing of the building, otherwise nothing is changing. We're just asking to come out on the porch. We'll push the garage back in line with the building. So right there across would stay straight.
So it'd be a straight line from here over to,
Correct.
okay, yep. So that would actually move your setback would actually be 12 feet then to the edge of the garage and 8 feet to the edge of your open porch or anything. Would you extend that any farther than what it is now, your open porch or your deck wraparound?
We'd like to extend it to the property line at the porch. It's the entrance, and we'd like to. Obviously, it's up to you guys to decide that, if we can go to the property line. We maintain that area. We've had this property for 12 years. The previous owner maintained that property. The previous owner maintained that property, mowed and kept it. It's always been part of the yard in that lot. This public access has never been used, and I've been around that lake since the early 60s. My grandfather's cabin was just down the street, and my wife's parents' cabin was just down the street the other direction.
Are there any additional questions from members of the board at this time?
I got a question for Richard. How wide is the road access? There's a 25-foot setback from the road?
Yes, on a corner lot, you have 25 feet from the right of way or from the road back to the edge of your property, to the edge of the building structure.
So how wide is the actual strip of land that the road is on?
That the road is on there? I don't know if I have the plat on this file here.
It's always been referred to as 60 feet.
60 feet?
60 feet. There's 60-foot lots. The idea was that you would sell off 50-foot lots going back, and everybody'd have access to go from their 50-foot lot down to the water on the public side. It didn't work. Everybody pretty much bought the whole thing, except where my wife's parents, the ABR, built back there, and public access was then closed down by the water. The two lots at the very edge, they were closed off and a fence built across them at some point about 30 years ago.
Okay. And the rural water pit is yours and your neighbor's pit?
No, just ours,
Just your pit?
just our pit. And that was placed in that yard area to the west of the house.
Have you checked on getting that right-of-way vacated?
I have asked about it, and I've been told repeatedly, don't even try.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, yes, state law prohibits. That there's a certain date that you cannot close access to any lake anymore. And that's it.
Even where it can't be used?
No.
Yeah, I have that noted in the findings of facts, a codified law that pertains to this particular one.
That sure would be a simple solution.
Sure would. Be more tax dollars, too. But I'm okay just coming to the property line, and I'll continue to take care of it. We've carried the dead trees out, we've cleaned up the dead branches, we mow the grass. You can see on the pictures that Richard had down at the water, I built the retaining wall over onto that property so it would not erode into the lake. The cement blocks, we put all that in, pushed the rocks up on the one side, and
So just so that I'm clear here, you're wanting to go to the property line, which is how far off the center of the road then, Richard?
Well, this would be off, it'd be 30 feet off the center of that 7th Street.
Okay, so that's
Be the same as the west property line of his property.
okay.
But now you said earlier you've changed this back. So you want to keep, which this house, the house with the porch would be 8 feet from the property line, the way it is drawn on here.
the overhang would go off into that 8 feet, as you said that was okay.
Yes, that's 8 feet is still on your property,
Right.
right. But when they're
I'd like-
going up to the
I'd like
corner
to-
lot on the street, we can't have any overhang over to that,
Right.
hanging over the street.
Right.
So you're asking to be 8 feet all the way along here for the front of the
we're
front of the
asking-
porch, and then it would go back, it would be 12 feet to the front of your garage from the property line.
Right, and we're asking to take the porch with the overhang to the property line. So nothing hangs over into the public access.
Right, okay, so you're shifting the whole house farther to the west then?
Just changing the structure a little bit. We're not gonna go towards the neighbors. That'll stay the 8 feet that it has to be.
Right, yep,
As we rearrange the garage, we have to rearrange the walls slightly to put all that
Okay.
together, to bring it back into meeting the need.
all right, so, just so we get this straight, originally we had asked for 0-foot setback on the garage, which that left your house at 12 foot. You were having a 4-foot walkway, which dropped that setback down to 8 feet from the property line. So, that's what that's what you're asking the variance to be for now, is 4 feet from the property line for your porch.
And can I change that here?
Yeah, it's up to the board, yes, we
Okay,
can,
okay. I've
negotiate back and forth here, but yeah,
I've
it's.
never sat here before,
Yep,
so I'm,
yep, we negotiate things and hopefully come to a conclusion and at that, so it'd take amendment to, a motion to amend the motion to, from what it is, at a 0 setback to a 8-foot setback.
right.
Does the board follow what we're doing here? We need a motion to amend the motion to an 8-foot setback for the variance from the west property line.
So moved.
Okay, someone needs to make the motion, I didn't make it.
I got
You have to say what he said.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna move the setback to 8 feet instead of 0?
Correct, a
The bill-
motion,
We'll
yeah,
make a motion then to amend the application to have an 8-foot setback instead of a 0.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Kyle. Voice vote?
yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
So
Okay.
then, what's the next step?
Well, we're not done yet
We're
with
not
it.
done.
Okay,
We have more steps to go through. This is just getting your
Okay.
variance now at 8 feet versus 0 feet. So,
So at 8 feet versus 0 feet, but you want your overhang over there the whole way, at 8 foot the whole way,
no, just on the porch area.
just on the porch.
it's down the porch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
the overhang will still be on his property.
Yep.
Yep.
Clear as mud. Everybody good with that on? Okay, moving on from that. Is there any additional questions from members of the board at this time?
Well, I'll make a comment. This is something we normally don't do. I don't know how many years I've been on his board, and we've had people come and ask for 0 setbacks. We have never, ever granted one, that I remember. But we've never had a situation like this where there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And I don't see a problem with it as long as there's nothing there and there will never be anything there. And you can't get it vacated. So personally, I don't see a problem with it.
Who is responsible for this piece of property? Is it state of South Dakota?
No,
Game Fish and Parks?
nope. It is whoever platted the property at that time. It's like with any plat today. They grant that for public access, and if they do not designate a road authority or a homeowners association, it's whoever wants to maintain it. But it's up to,
Maintain it is kind of the key word there. So
yes.
somebody can't come with their boat and say, I want to get my boat down to the water. I'm going through.
They could. It's public, it designated as a public access.
Okay.
But they'd have to cut all the trees down to get down there with it.
Yep. It's a strange one.
Yep, it goes back, that's what when the owner of the property deeded that off, platted that off, it's like any private roads or developments on roads today, there's very few, later ones of the Lake Park District, it's deeded off for public access for the owners or the occupants of that development.
The reason I'm asking, on Lake Hendricks, there are lake accesses that are on the end of the township roads that actually, if the lake was dry, I believe you are allowed to drive through.
Yes, if it's on a section line, then that is a dedicated state access.
And that's got nothing to do with this
Has
situation.
nothing to do with this, because it's not on a section line.
Yep.
I'm glad you asked that, but this was in 1922?
This was platted in 1922.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other comments or questions from members of the board at this time? You want to go back to your seat for a second?
Yep.
I'll probably have you back up here. I just got to keep moving on. Being no questions from board at this time, we'll move to the public hearing portion. Is there anybody in the audience that is for this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience that is opposed to this? Seeing and hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing portion. Move back to the board for additional comments or questions. So we've moved the 0 setback to an 8-foot setback, and it's obviously an extenuating circumstance, so. Any other questions?
Well, I would think that if anybody ever came in and said, well, you did it there, you got to do it for me too, that this has extenuating circumstances that are not anywhere else.
The only other place that this could happen is on a public access like that.
Yeah, and it would almost have to be a public access. It's not usable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could do the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not a usable access, I mean, I could carry a canoe through there, I guess, if I can get it through the trees, but. I don't foresee you doing that. Not happening.
And then each variance is on a case-by-case basis. Because we granted one for somebody does not automatically mean you're gonna grant it for somebody else. They need to have a hardship for each case.
With that being said, with no other additional questions at this point then, everybody's good? Richard, would you read the findings of facts?
Yes, Brookings County zoning variance 2025, variance 002, an application for a variance having been filed with the Brookings County Zoning Commission, acting as a Brookings County Board of Adjustment. Copy of the application being attached here too. Such application being made by Joel Williams regarding the following real property. Parcels 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Lot 10 in subdivision and replat of Lake Ponset Heights in Section 5, Township 112 North, Range 52 West, Laketon Township, located at 152 South Lake Drive, Arlington, South Dakota, 57212. After due notice, a public hearing having been held on the application on the 7th day of October, 2025. Number 1, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment hereby finding that the strict application of the Brookings County zoning ordinance would produce undue hardship, that such hardship is not shared generally by other properties in the same zoning district in the same vicinity, that the authorization of such variance will not be substantial detrimental to adjacent property, and the character of the district will not be changed by the granting of the variance, that the granting of such variance is based upon reasons of demonstrable and exceptional hardship as distinguished from variations for the purpose of convenience, profit, and caprice. Number 2, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further finding that the condition or situation of the property concerned or the intended use of the property is not so general of nature or recurring in nature as to make reasonable, practicable the formulation of a general regulation to be adopted as an amendment to the zoning ordinance. Number 3, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further finding that the written application of the petitioner demonstrates that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or buildings in the same district, that literal interpretations of the provisions of the Brookings County zoning ordinance would deprive the applicant the rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the terms of this ordinance, that the special conditions and circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, and that the granting of the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege as denied by the ordinance to other lands, structures, or buildings in the same district. Number 4, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further finding that the reasons set forth in the application justify the granting of the variance, and that the variance is a minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure. That granting the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and the intent of the Brookings County zoning ordinance, and will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the public welfare. Number 5, the Brookings County Board of Adjustment further determines and conditions this variance upon the following special conditions or safeguards. A, Lake Ponset Heights was platted on June 30th, 1922. 7th Street was platted for lake access at that time and is not maintained by a road authority. 7th Street currently has mature trees, bushes, and grass growing on it, with the north end being a steep grade drop-off going to the lake, with bushes and trees growing on the drop-off, making it not usable for lake access. 7th Street may not be vacated per South Dakota Codified Law 31-3-6.1. B, 7th Street has a rural water line across it and a meter pit located in the center of it. C, electrical and sewer utilities are located on the east side of the existing house. The Brookings County Board of Adjustment, by at least 2/3 vote of its full membership, hereby grants the above petitioner variance for the above real property as follows. All right. Build a new residence with an attached garage to be 8 feet from the west property line. Which should be a variance of 17 feet, and the rest of the house with an attached. Now, let's see, did I do that right here? With an attached covered porch should be 8 feet from the rest. Okay, we're going to take this part out, because that garage is no longer there. Okay, build a new residence with an attached garage with an attached covered porch to be 8 feet from the rest property line, a variance of 17 feet. No portion of the structure may project over or overhang upon 7th Street. And gutters to be installed for water from the roof to be drained onto the applicant's property. This variance is specifically conditioned upon initial and continued compliance with all the conditions and safeguards in 5 above and upon compliance with all applicable provisions of the Brookings County zoning ordinance. If approved, the Brookings County zoning director is authorized to issue any required building permits for construction consistent with the terms of this variance. If this variance is not used within 3 years of the date granted, it shall be invalid, dated the 7th day of October.
Are there any additions or corrections to the findings of facts?
Just a question here. He was asking for the porch to go up to the property line. So the structure is all we care about being 8 feet from the property line?
No, it would be, the porch would be 8 feet from the property line.
Okay.
So on the one line, it should be 0 feet. The garage would be 8 feet, but by 7th Street, it would be 0 feet.
Well, that's not what I asked everybody and what we made the motion on. I said the motion would be 8 from 0 setback to an 8-foot setback for the front porch. Then the garage is gonna be back even with the house, that 12 feet from the property line.
So then it's a 4-foot covered porch?
It's actually, he's right, I would like to bring the porch out.
Okay, you'll have to come back up to the.
Come back up.
In moving the garage back to, in line with the house that would have the setback, we'd like to bring the porch out to the property line, so the overhang went right to the property line. The porch would finish short of it by several feet, but the overhang would come right to the property line.
So is the garage is on the south side of the property and you're talking about the porch being on the west side of the property?
Right, the garage doors are on the west side, but the,
'Cause this is how I stated it. This would go straight all across here,
right,
which your house is at 12 feet from the property line. I said the porch would come out 4 feet, which that decreases your
8
variance.
feet.
It says 4 feet on here, if I read it right.
I understand, but the garage on there is different too.
Right,
So
okay.
we had too much time to think about this, so we've tried to make things better for the variance. Just the porch roof coming out, so entrance to the house has a porch over it that's 8 feet wide.
Okay, so that's gonna go all, when I asked that too, if this porch was gonna continue on,
Continue on to the end of the,
to the end of the house?
no, the garage doors will be there.
Okay.
How about going north? How far north will the porch line go? All the way to the end?
Just like it is here.
All the way to the,
No, just to about the halfway point in the house.
from that
There'll
point?
be sidewalk there, but not covered.
But you want the roof to come out to the property line all the way to the north?
No, just over the porch.
Just
the
how
porch.
wide of area would that be then roughly?
The variance?
No, how wide would the porch be,
It would,
roughly?
it's gonna be an 8-foot slab and 2 feet of overhang off the front of it,
Coming toward the property line?
coming towards the property line.
And how wide going north and south?
North and south, it's gonna run back, back out to the front of the house and then across the front of the house.
It would run all the way to the north end of your house?
Right. Just like it's drawn here.
Okay.
This is gonna be a cement slab, not a wood deck.
It would be cement.
Okay, are you gonna
So
have
that makes a difference,
support posts from the roof holding the roof up?
Poured,
A
post,
support post
right,
holding that overhang up?
correct.
Okay, that's where we need to get that variance distance from,
The
is where that support post is gonna be.
8 feet out from the house, 2
Okay.
feet shy of the property line.
Okay.
Okay. I think I got it.
So how did our amendment get made to the motion that we voted on?
The amendment to the motion got made to change it from a 0-foot setback to an 8-foot setback. But now we need to amend
Amend
the
it again.
amendment to go from an 8-foot to a 2-foot. Unless,
Okay, well, there's one question here. You were saying you're gonna go 8 feet from the property line, so right now the house is sitting at 12 feet back from the line. So we lost 2 feet somewhere, because it would be 4 feet from the property line then for your overhang, right? Well, I'm just seeing, if you look
Yeah.
right there, it's 12 feet where the
In the pink writing, there's a 12-foot, is that,
Right, and then 4 foot for the porch, 12 minus 4 is 8.
yep,
Yep.
That's where I came with the 8-foot setback, right here.
yep, which is good. Now,
you're
he
saying
wants,
that's an 8-foot covered porch there?
I would like it to be an 8-foot covered porch.
there's 4 more feet, so now we're out to 8 feet of that 12, so there's 4 feet left.
Okay,
Correct.
And you want the roof line to come out 2 more feet.
To the,
as long as it does not go over onto the property or onto, it
You
cannot
would
exceed
still be
over
2
that.
feet short of the property line where the edge of the roof line would be. If you have a 2-foot overhang past
I
an
can
8-foot
get there.
deck. Does that make sense?
yep,
So then we need to amend the amendment back to,
Change it to,
So what do you consider it the post or the edge of the overhang?
the post,
post.
Be a-
but the structure, the overhang cannot go over the property line.
Right, but you can have one closer to it without being counted as part of your variance.
No, the post is counted as the variance.
Post
That
is,
is
but
the
not
edge of
the
the
overhang.
house. That is the edge of the variance is where that post goes.
But if the overhang is 2 feet past that post, that doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. But it just cannot extend over onto his neighbor's property or onto 7th Street, which it won't. You'll have 2 feet there left, right?
Yep. If it was a 2-foot overhang, you'd have 2 feet left.
Yeah. So
and
we're-
just a point of clarification that on the other side, if we're 8 feet off the neighbor's property, the overhang can go into that 8 feet as well.
Yes,
The 2-foot overhang,
right.
okay?
Just that I cannot go onto your neighbor's, can't
Right,
exceed
right.
over onto your neighbor's property.
Right.
Basically, we could leave it as it sits, and they'd just have to engineer, so your post would be at the 8-foot, and your overhang would be 4-foot. I don't know how much pitch you've got on your porch. If it's,
It's gonna slope down.
but how much? You 312,
Probably be
612?
it'll probably be about a 412 pitch off that side of the house.
So they're, and with 8x8 posts?
Oh, they're gonna be most likely just a 6x6 post.
So I mean, even a
Steel and
6x6
clad.
post, if you left them at the 8-foot and had 4-foot overhang, you'd still accomplish what you're going for?
Yes,
You just have to LVL or something in there
Yep.
to support it. It just, we
You-
can leave it the way it is. You're just
You
gonna
would
have
have
to
a
move your
wider
post.
overhang, it's 4 foot instead of 2 foot.
that would work.
The post would be 2 feet back
Yeah,
into your patio, into your porch area.
And then that would, and you're not, this would be an open, you're not enclosing it.
No, it's not enclosed.
It's not enclosed, so it's just a walkway, covered walkway going
It's
to
just
the
the
back.
entrance to the house.
Yep,
So
to the house, then going back towards the lake.
I'm gonna be the guy swinging the hammer, so the post will be at the property line, correct?
No,
Nope.
post will be 4
post
feet.
will be
4
8
foot in,
foot.
so you're not
foot.
gonna move the
If
house.
we leave it the way it sits, the post will be 8 foot from the property line. And you'll just have to have it so that it's
Just
engineered
cantilever it
to
out.
carry the weight.
Right.
But, okay, so then we're gonna still sit off the property line 12 foot
Correct.
with the structure.
Yep,
Then your posts will sit out 4 foot from that,
yep.
or from 6 foot from that, I guess. Okay, I think I'm following now.
Yep.
You would only have a 4-foot walkway between your posts and your house wall.
Which
If we
is-
don't change anything,
Which is enough.
right?
Well, there, I mean, is there an objection to going to a tighter variance on that post to the property line?
Well, that's what we need to decide
That's
here.
what
You
we
need
need
to
to
decide.
That's, because I mean,
As it's written right now,
You're at, it's
you're
8.
4 foot out to the post. If we gotta re-type something in here to try
and
and get
just
it
for
to go closer.
simplicity of the build, if we went to if you were able to get a 0-foot setback on that post, your overhang is still 2 foot over this. We're gonna hang over 2 foot on the property line. Then you put a whole 8-foot setback on the
Can't
entire
do that.
structure.
You can't hang over the property line.
So you can't hang over the property line at all.
Nope.
So then if you go to a 10-foot setback, 8 foot on the post, 2 foot for the overhang, then that makes the math correct?
Yeah. No, hold on.
No.
That would be in a 2-foot setback. We'd have to change the,
Yeah,
Then
we
you'd have to have
we
a
to
a
change
2-foot
the
setback on that post, because then our overhang would come right to the property line,
Yep.
which I think is what they're after.
That's where we're headed.
Okay, I'm gonna make it simple. I move that we amend the amendment and allow for a 2-foot setback off the property line for the posts.
Is there a second?
And that's where your overhang has to stop. It can go over 2 feet up to it, but you have to have gutter along there. You cannot run water onto 7th Street.
Right.
I'll second that amendment.
Motion by Vanderwall, second by Jornby. All in favor? Amendment to the amendment to move it back to a 2-foot, 2-foot, right? Passes. So now you will have,
You can make your porch wider if you would like.
yep, your post can be at 2 foot, and overhang can't go over the property line.
And we just can't dump water onto that
7th
public
Street.
access, 7th Street
Correct.
essentially.
So
We just
you're
have to
gonna-
manage the water north or south.
Yep.
Can't go west with it.
Yep,
Okay.
you're gonna have to be 6 inches short with the overhang.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
include
you're gonna have
the
to count
gutter.
for gutters, count, yeah, you're gonna have to count for all that.
All right. Da, 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 da. This we're gonna change to 2. Okay, build a new residence with an attached garage, with an attached covered porch, support post to be 2 feet from the west property line. A variance of 23 feet.
Yep,
No portion of the structure may project over or overhang 7th Street. Gutters to be installed to run water from the roof, to be drained onto the applicant's property. Correct? We're all on the same page? Board, applicant?
okay. Now are there any additions or corrections to the findings of facts?
Mr. Chair, I find that this application meets the requirements of the zoning ordinance as long as the findings of the facts are followed, so I concur with the findings of the facts.
Thank you, Mr. Paulson. That being said, Richard, would you call the vote?
Kelly Vanderwall,
Aye.
Tim Paulson,
Aye.
Cody Clark,
Aye.
Darrell Kleinjohn,
Aye.
Kyle Vanderwall,
Aye.
Mark Droinby,
Aye.
Neil Troyan,
yes,
Justin D. Groot,
Yes.
Chad Ford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
We'll send you a copy of your application and the findings of facts in the mail, and you can come in tomorrow and get your building permit if you're ready, or whenever you're ready to.
Within 3 years.
Need to get the drawings completed and ready to go.
Yep,
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
as long as you do it within 3 years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, department reports.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Today, the county commission, once again, thanks the zoning board for the actions that you did, were due for us. And the biggest thing that came out of the commission meeting today was we would like the public to be aware it is harvest time and to be careful when trying to pass farm equipment. The farm equipment's not getting any smaller, and the public's just going to have to I noticed I left the house this morning at 7 and it was dark, and I came down here right at 8 o'clock and it's pitch dark, so, you guys are living in dangerous times, but, you do a great job, and the county commission appreciates what you're doing for us. Richard, you got anything, am I forgetting?
Nope, next month, the meetings go back to 7 PM, so we start an hour earlier, November through March, so.
And there's no need for a executive session,
No
so.
need for executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Kelly Vanderwall, second.
I'll second it.
Second by Clark, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Didn't I